So I'm already logged in, but if you just go to Geogebra and sign in, this is the main screen that you'll get to. We've been working a lot in the calculator down here, but what I want you to do is create an activity that you can assign to your students. That way you can pull up all of their screens and you can string together the different conjectures that they might come up with. It allows you to present in a classroom where if they each had their own just separate calculators, you're not going to be able to draw that to the board from your teacher computer. So you're going to go over here to your icon, top right-hand corner. Mine's a B. I'm going to click it, and then it'll bring you to the resource page, and this is where you can create an activity. So you're going to hit the create button. There's a little plus sign that says create, and we're going to go to activity. Now I'm going to title this example activity. You can add questions or prompts that you want students to look at. So I might say, what do you notice about the diagonals of a parallelogram? Done. And then I'm going to have them investigate it. But right now they can't do that. So we have to click add element, and we're going to go to GeoGebra. So this is where the group had, the dilations group, I believe it was, had found an applet that was already created, so they didn't have to create one. So I'm just going to investigate and see diagonals of a parallelogram. Are there any out there already? So I'm looking, not loving anything that I'm seeing so far. Oh, okay, this one looks like it measures. I'm not sure. I'm going to add it for now, and then I can edit it. So what is it? Change the positions. Okay, so this does show that the diagonals bisect each other. That's not terrible. But let's say I didn't like it. So you can use one that's out there. That's fine. But let's say you don't like it and you just want to create your own. Honestly, sometimes I feel like that's easier. So I'm going to go add element to GeoGebra, and then I'm going to click the create applet over here on the left-hand side. Going to go to geometry, and it creates one for me. So I could create a parallelogram. I'm not going to do that. That'd take me a little longer. Let's just pretend this is a parallelogram. I know we can use parallel lines to do that, but just pretend for the sake of this video. So I have my parallelogram that the students are going to be messing with, but there's a lot going on up here, and I feel like they're going to get distracted. They're not going to be looking at what's important. So what I'm going to do is click the 3 bars on the top right-hand side and scroll down to Tools. Once I'm in Tools, I'm going to click Customize Toolbar, because like I said, this is a lot going on. Students don't need all that. They don't need the slider for my activity. They don't need transformations, reflections, rotations. So I'm just dragging those to the right-hand side. They don't need angles to look at the relationship. They definitely don't need any information about circles or any ellipse, polygons. They're not creating that. Perpendicular lines. Let me see if there's anything that, nope, they don't need any of that information. So just dragging that over. Lines. No, don't need any of that. Okay, so right now we're down to points and just being able to move. But here's the thing. If I created my own rectangle and I want them to see that diagonals are congruent, I might want them to be able to measure. So I got rid of that measure tool. Let me scroll up here. Where is it at? Measuring a distance or a length. There we go, distance or length. I got rid of it, but now I want to keep it. So I just drag it back to the left and it restores it in the toolbar. So I'm going to hit apply. I'm happy enough with that. Now I've really narrowed down what my students can see. So they can measure. I should have put the diagonals in on this parallelogram, but you get the idea. We talked about it in class. They can measure. So I'm happy with this toolbar, and I'm going to go ahead and click done. So I've got my question here, posed for students, or that's my prompt, my text. And then I have what they can do, but maybe you're like, hey, they don't have the tools. So to show their toolbar at the top, we need to go to advanced settings, and then you have to click show toolbar. It doesn't automatically default to that. I'm going to click done. Now they can add points. They can measure things with just the tools that I'm allowing them to have. Okay, so I asked them, what do you notice about the diagonals of a parallelogram? but I need a follow-up question. So maybe I'm going to go in here, add element, and I'm going to ask a question. Make a conjecture, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. Hit done. And now they have a space where they can type their responses or input math type. So that's how you insert all the different elements. Once you're happy with your overall activity, like, yep, this allows them to explore, I've got the questions, you're going to hit save and close. Then it'll pop up in your resources list. So right now, I just have this activity with the tools that I want and the questions that I would like students to answer. If you want to share this, you're going to hit those ... and you click assign. I'm going to assign it as a GeoGebra lesson. Looks great. Now I can copy the link here, or I have this code for students to enter just like they would with Desmos. Or you can go up here to the top right hand and you can just copy the link that way. If you have any questions as you're working, please let me know. I'm happy to take a look at or go through any technology issues that you might be having.